Shemu'el 2, 2 Samuel, chapter 11. And it came to be at the turn of the year, at the time sovereigns go out, that Dawid sent Joab and his servants with him and all Yisrael. And they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But Dawid remained at Jerusalem. And it came to be at evening time that Dawid rose up from his bed and walked about on the roof of the sovereign's house. And from the roof he saw a woman bathing, and the woman was very good to look at. And Dawid sent and asked about the woman, and one said, "Is this not Bethsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?" And Dawid sent messengers to fetch her, and she came to him, and he lay with her, for she was cleansing herself from her uncleanness, and she returned to her house. And the woman conceived, and sent and informed Dawid, and said, "I am pregnant." Then Dawid sent to Joab, "Send Uriah the Hittite to me." And Joab sent Uriah to Dawid. And Uriah came to him, and Dawid asked how Joab was doing, and how the people were doing, and how the fighting was going. And Dawid said to Uriah, "Go down to your house and wash your feet." And Uriah went out from the sovereign's house, and a gift from the sovereign followed him. But Uriah lay down at the door of the sovereign's house with all the servants of his master, and did not go down to his house. And they informed Dawid, saying, "Uriah did not go down to his house." So Dawid said to Uriah, "Did you not come from a journey? Why did you not go down to your house?" And Uriah said to Dawid, "The ark of Yisrael and Yehudah are dwelling in booths, and my master Joab and the servants of my master are encamped in the open fields. And should I go to my house to eat and to drink and to lie with my wife? As you live and as your being lives, let me not do this." And Dawid said to Uriah, "Remain here today also, and tomorrow I let you go." So Uriah remained in Jerusalem that day and the next. And Dawid called him, and he ate and drank before him, and he made him drunk. And at evening he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of his master, but he did not go down to his house. And it came to be in the morning that Dawid wrote a letter to Joab, and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter, saying, "Put Uriah in the front of the heaviest battle, and you shall turn away from him, and he shall be smitten and shall die." And it came to be as Joab watched the city, that he appointed Uriah to the place where he knew there were brave men. And the men of the city came out and fought with Joab. And some of the people of the servants of Dawid fell, and Uriah the Hittite also died. And Joab sent and reported to Dawid all the events of the battle, and commanded the messenger, saying, "When you have finished reporting all the events of the battle to the sovereign, then it shall be, if the sovereign's wrath rises, and he says to you, 'Why did you go so near to the city when you fought? Did you not know that they would shoot from the wall? Who smote Abimelech the son of Yerubbesheth? Was it not a woman who threw an upper millstone on him from the wall, so that he died in Thebez? Why did you go near the wall?' Then you shall say, 'Your servant Uriah the Hittite is also dead.'" And the messenger went and came and reported to Dawid all with which Joab had sent him. And the messenger said to Dawid, "The men have been mighty against us, and came out to us in the field, but we drove them back as far as the entrance of the gate. And the archers shot from the wall at your servants, and some of the sovereign servants are dead, and your servant Uriah the Hittite is also dead." And Dawid said to the messenger, "Say to Joab, 'Do not let this matter be evil in your eyes, for the sword devours one as well as another. Strengthen your attack against the city and overthrow it, and encourage him.'" And the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah her husband was dead, and she lamented for her husband. And when her mourning was over, Dawid sent and brought her to his house, and she became his wife, and bore him a son. But the deed that Dawid had done was evil in the eyes of Yahuah. Shemu'el 2, 2 Samuel, chapter 12. Then Yahuah sent Nathan to Dawid, and he came to him and said to him, "There were two men in one city, one rich and the other poor. The rich one had flocks and herds, very many, But the poor one had only one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and kept alive, and it grew up with him and with his children together. It ate of his own food and drank from his own cup and lay in his bosom, and it was like a daughter to him. And a traveler came to the rich man who refused to take from his own flock and from his own herd to prepare one for the wayfaring man who had come to him. But he took the poor man's lamb and prepared it for the man who had come to him. And the wrath of Dawid burned greatly against the man, and he said to Nathan, As Yahuah lives, the man who has done this is a son of death. Also, he has to repay fourfold for the lamb, because he did this deed and because he had no compassion. Then Nathan said to Dawid, You are the man! Thus said Yahweh, Elohim of Yisrael, I anointed you sovereign over Yisrael, and I delivered you from the hand of Shemu'el, and I gave you your master's house and your master's wives into your bosom, and gave you the house of Yisrael and Yehudah. And if that were not enough, I also would have given you much more. Why have you despised the word of Yahuah to do evil in his eyes? You have killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and his wife you took to be your wife, and you have killed him with the sword of the children of Ammon. And now the sword does not turn aside from your house, because you have despised me, and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Thus said Yahuah, See, I am raising up evil against you from your own house, and shall take your wives before your eyes, and give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of this sun. For you did it in secret, but I shall do this deed before all Yisrael and before the sun. And Dawid said to Nathan, I have sinned against Yahuah. And Nathan said to Dawid, Also, Yahuah has put away your sin. You shall not die. However, because by this deed you have greatly scorned Yahuah, the child also who is born to you shall certainly die. And Nathan went to his house, and Yahuah afflicted the child that Uriah's wife had borne to Dawid, and he was sick. And Dawid sought Elohim for the child, and Dawid fasted and went in and spent all night lying on the ground. So the elders of his house stood up over him to raise him up from the earth, but he would not, nor did he eat food with them. And on the 7th day it came to be that the child died. And the servants of Dawid were afraid to inform him that the child was dead, for they said, Look, while the child was still alive, we spoke to him, and he would not listen to our voice. And how do we say to him that the child is dead? He may act terribly. And Dawid saw that his servants were whispering, and Dawid perceived that the child was dead. Then Dawid said to his servants, Is the child dead? And they said, He is dead. Dawid then rose up from the ground and washed and anointed himself and changed his garments, and he went into the house of Yahuah and bowed himself, then came to his own house and asked, and they put food before him, so he ate. And his servants said to him, What is this that you have done? You fasted and wept of the living child, but when the child died, you rose up and ate food. And he said, While the child was alive, I fasted and wept, for I said, Who knows whether Yahuah shows favor unto me, and the child shall live? But now he is dead. Why should I fast? Am I able to bring him back again? I am going to him, but he does not return to me. And Dawid comforted Bethsheba, his wife, and went into her and lay with her. So she bore a son, and he called his name Shemu'el. And Yahuah loved him, and sent by the hand of Nathan the Nevi, and called his name Yedidiah, because of Yahuah. And Yoav fought against Rabbah, the children of Ammon, and captured the royal city. And Yoav sent messengers to Dawid, and said, I have fought against Rabbah, and have captured the city's water supply, and now gather the rest of the people together, and encamp against the city, and capture it, lest I capture the city, and it be called after my name. And Dawid gathered all the people and went to Rabbah and fought against it and captured it. And he took their sovereign's crown from his head, and its weight was a kikar of gold with precious stones, and it was on Dawid's head. And he brought out the spoil of the city, a very great amount. And he brought out the people who were in it, and put them to the saw, and to sharp instruments of iron, and to axes of iron, and made them pass over to the brickworks. And so he did with all the cities of the children of Ammon. And Dawid and all the people returned to Jerusalem.